Today we're out at Granada Park in Phoenix, Arizona for our third annual Sweat Out HPV 5K.
The number one cause of cervical cancer is the human papillomavirus, also known as HPV. HPV is the number one sexually transmitted infection, STI, worldwide, including here in the United States.
So today we are hosting our HPV myth-busting 5K, and this is at Granada Park in Phoenix, Arizona. We are having a run where we teach all of our participants about common HPV misconceptions.
Today we're piloting our first in-person event where we're completing field day challenges, and the challenges are based around trivia related to HPV to help myth bust some misinformation about HPV.
Despite the fact that HPV is so prevalent among so many people, a lot of people don't know a whole lot about HPV, and the information that they do have at their disposal is oftentimes misinformation.
So it's just common misconceptions that we try to shed light on today, and we're honestly just trying to have some fun as well and just get in some exercise.
We hope in doing this today that we'll be able to educate people a little bit more about HPV and how to prevent it.
We have 5 different stations and 2 groups circulating through all of those stations while simultaneously walking a 5K to spread awareness about HPV. Those stations include lots of fun trivia games about HPV, about the various health conditions that it can cause with the warts and with the cancers. And if you're not careful, one of our team members might get pied in the face. So we're here having lots of fun today, spreading lots of information and knowledge about HPV.
CCAP Across The Map is a nonprofit that's primarily dedicated to cervical cancer awareness and prevention around the world. We do so by offering HPV-related education and screening resources to under-resourced areas that otherwise don't have access to preventative measures or resources to do screening for preventative care.
The overall mission of CCAP Across the Map is to decrease the rate of cervical cancer on a global scale.
CCAP Across the Map is 100% volunteer-driven, including my best friend and my co-founder, business partner, Hunter Ackerley. We are very blessed to have such an incredible team of people behind us.
We've worked in Mexico, Ghana, and Senegal, and we have pending partnerships in other places around the world. And when we go to these other places, we partner with local organizations to make sure we're meeting the needs of the community to help support their community health workers in order to bolster their healthcare system with preventative knowledge about female-specific cancers, sexually transmitted infections, and preventing HPV. That's a key hallmark of our mission, as well as maintaining mental health in the face of a medical diagnosis.
And we mainly focus on HPV because it is the number one cause of cervical cancer.
So we currently have ongoing initiatives here in the United States, as well as Mexico, Ghana, and Senegal, and we're going to be expanding to Kenya and Nigeria later this year.
In Arizona, we have a lot of ongoing programs that help to support underserved communities,
adolescents and young adults, so teenagers and young adults between the ages of 18 to 25 are pretty commonly at risk for HPV infection as well as transmission, and then later suffering from the associated health conditions down the road.
One program in particular that I really find near and dear to my heart is our HPV Ends With Me campaign. Within this campaign, we have 3 tiers of education: pre-teens prevent HPV, teens talk transmission, and students stop the spread.
We're going out and offering HPV education, cervical cancer prevention, breast cancer prevention education at various clinics and other institutions that may not otherwise have access to this education.
This initiative allows students of middle school, high school, and college age to learn about how to prevent HPV with interactive games, trivia, role-playing activities. And it's really just a great way to make sure that the community has knowledge to help keep them safe in the long run from HPV and all of the related cancers that come with it.
So we do have an education outreach team at Arizona State University, ASU, called CCAP at ASU. And then we work with various shelters and clinics here in Arizona to serve the needs of the local Arizona community, whether that is referring patients to clinics that offer free pap smears for cervical cancer diagnosis and prevention at clinics that serve uninsured and underinsured folks.
CCAP Across the Map is an organization that's working in underserved communities where larger organizations that might be working with healthcare are often missing. These people are often hard to reach in rural areas, and our intent and our mission is to reach these people with preventative healthcare means so that they don't end up facing devastating health results later in their life.
It's really special to be here in Arizona, which is both of our hometown as well as our headquarters at this point for our education. But I love all of our satellite locations just as equally with Mexico, Ghana, and Senegal. And I am beyond ecstatic that words can describe to expand in Kenya and Nigeria. And so hopefully CCAP Across the Map will be coming to a location station soon near you to save the cervix together.
And we are always looking for support to help get our mission across, and that is that if we help to prevent HPV, we can help to prevent cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is a very deadly cancer, but is also one of the most preventable, and with the support of people just like you, we can help get our word out there.
One of the biggest things about cervical cancer is that it is one of the most preventable cancers, but it's also one of the most stigmatized cancers, unfortunately. And so that's why education is so important. Education is entirely reliant on community engagement. We are only as big as the communities who we serve allow us to be.
And we also recommend the HPV vaccine because preventing HPV can prevent up to 90% of cervical cancer incidents.
Support CCAP Across the Map to save the cervix and help prevent cervical cancer by stopping the spread of HPV early on.
We need people to participate and engage with our educational program. We need people to volunteer with us. We need people to financially donate or donate services, donate time. Really, any piece that you can give, that would be the biggest takeaway. That way all of us can work together to save the cervix.